How we doing today, YouTube? In this next draft, I'm going to be covering some information that I think everybody should be hearing because I think it's something that can really help people improve overall as a player. The gameplay in this draft isn't so much to really write home about, but it is something that the information that I convey I think is really important, and therefore I really want to put this one out there. If you have any questions, feel free to stop by the Twitch chat. This is who I was talking to in this video, and you'll be able to see their questions on camera. Alrighty, everybody, here we are with another Zendikar Rising Draft. I am not impressed with this pack, that's for sure. So the rare is basically unplayable. Colony Ambush is like okay. Veteran Adventure is okay. Cinderclasm is mediocre. I actually think the best card in this pack is like Expedition Healer, and that's a pretty bad sign. But I'm going to take Expedition Healer and see what happens. Oh my goodness, another unplayable rare. Alright, so our opponent took an uncommon out of the pack. So Concerted Defense is pretty terrible. Basically unplayable. Malachite Rebirth's okay. So we have Bug Catcher, Stonework, Spellcraft. I think I just take Bug Catcher here. Maybe I'm supposed to take Pack Beast. You know what? I'll take Pack Beast. I think Pack Beast is good. And I probably won't get another shot at it. Somebody else will pick it up. Because now it fills in for, like, any party member. So I could be going, like, Clerics. I could be going Warriors. I could be going even Rogues. Alright, so here we've got Hazard, Sneaking Guide. I don't want Moss Pit. I think I'm just going to take Farsight Adept here. Alright, so now we're starting to see removal spells, which makes us want to shift to black, right? So there's a base camp for mana fixing for us. 2 of the uncommons are missing. People have not taken Vanquish the week. I don't know if there's an uncommon black card that is a removal spell. I'm trying to think about that. Could be a red card that they're taking. I'm going to just take Vanquish. It's just the best card in the pack. I'm going to continue with the trend of just taking the best cards in the pack here that are kind of like in our colors. So, Balagad Recovery and Marasa Sproutling. I really do not like Kicker in this format, so I don't want to even get involved with this card. Balagad Recovery, on the other hand, is okay. There's a Seagate Banneret, which I think is actually pretty impressive overall, and a Subtle Strike. Subtle Strike's not bad. We've got Anti-Cognition if we really wanted to go that way. I think I'm just going to take the Banneret because I'm not sure what my secondary color is going to be, but I do feel like I'm going to be playing white. Very likely here. Oh, baby, we got a big crab in the pack. The old 017. I think that card's actually pretty good. I don't think I want to pass Core Celebrant for it, knowing that I'm going to be playing white and it's double blue. And it doesn't really play into white-blue party at all. But I do think that this is like really late for this crab. Surprised. Take Core Celebrant here. Might just be running back like the exact same draft, but with better cards. I do like Farsight Adept. I'm going to take Farsight Adept again. Passing a Subtle Strike, which is kind of like... kind of sucks, but that's okay. Here I'll take Practice Tactics. I think it's just a fine white removal spell that's conditional. Drana Silencer is fine. We are really passing like nothing for it. Teeter Peak Ambusher, I guess. It's looking like we're likely going to be going Clerics, though. Or, like, White-Black Party. Alright, so here out of this pack, Concerted Defense is basically unplayable. Negate's basically unplayable. I'm just going to take 20 gems out of this pack and move on. Okay, so really, I think Sneaking Guide's like the only card left that's really playable, so we'll just take it. Put it in the sideboard for now, because we're likely white-black here, but Sneaking Guide's obviously an option. Cleansing Wildfire is better than Oblivion Hunger, Anti-Cognition is better than Shell Shield, and Living Tempest is the only card left in the pack. So, let's see what we have here. So we have another Kicker, uncommon, and another Kicker uncommon. Mind Carver, which is probably not what we're doing. No removal. basically every good card in this pack is green besides Core Celebrant. So it's Gnarlid Colony, Rabid Bite, Visionary, Vine Gecko, and then Merfolk Falconer. And all the rest of these cards are like medium at best. So I think we just take Core Celebrant here. I don't really want to go green because that's like a landfall deck, and that's not what we've started to set up at all. Because most of the landfall creatures don't have don't have a party type on them, which means that you kind of just lose out on the party mechanic that we've already started draft. Here, on the other hand, is a huge payoff. We get Journey to Oblivion or Feed the Swarm or Nahiri's Binding, and there's a Shajiri Shelter in the pack as well, so we might even wheel that. If we do end up going red, there's a Shatterskull Minotaur in the pack as well. And if we shift into blue, there's Into the Royal. So I think out of this pack, because this pack is very strong for us, I think we will wheel something that is good. I'm going to take Journey to Oblivion for now because I think that card's just the best card in the pack. It's removal that hits any permanent, and it doesn't damage us like Feed the Swarm does. So I don't think Feed the Swarm is going to come back. I'd love to pick up Shajiri Shelter out of this pack as just the wheel card. So we'll see what happens here. All right, so here now we're looking at Thundering Spark Mage as a possibility. Spark Mage would be red-white party for us, and I think that would be okay. We do have a couple wizards already, so we could do a wizard sub-theme. I'm going to go ahead and take Spark Mage here. There's a chance we shift into red. Kind of depends on what comes in this next pack. I do think... Oh, Rune Crab. Wow. That's a late Rune Crab. 4 picks in and it's still there. All the uncommons are here, actually. I mean, I think Basswood's pretty bad. Allied Assault's okay if you're really aggressive. Seagate Colossus or Rune Crab? I don't really like Seagate Colossus that much already anyways. It's probably better to just take it. But Rune Crab would be super speculative here. I really do like the card, though. I'm just going to take it. Whatever. I'll get another Seagate Colossus if I want one. You never know. You never know what happens here. Maybe we do end up shifting into blue-white. Because, like, out of this pack, I don't want anything, right? So I just take either Jwari's Disruption or Base Camp. I'm not a huge fan of Base Camp. It's okay. I'm just going to take Disruption in case I do go blue. Now we've got Expedition Skulker, Shadowcat versus Thundering Rebuke. Wow, this is like the latest Thundering Rebuke I've ever seen. I'm going to take that. Alright, so... I've already got one Sneaking Guy. Do I really want a second one? Probably. I don't want anything else out of this pack. Besides maybe 20 gems. I'll take Spoils of Adventure here. We're not sure if we're red, but I do think Spoils is really good. I don't think I'm playing black at this point. Just based on the cards that are being passed to me. Glacial Grasp is okay, because we'll have a rogue sub-theme inside of this. Oh, Shajiri Shelter did wheel. That's good. Molten Blast is better than all those white cards. White is definitely wide open at this table, that's for sure. I think Allied Assault's a little bit better than Seafloor Stalker. 4-drop. I guess I'll just take Base Camp at this point. Like, that's really late. So we're giving up Spark Mage and Rebuke for Crab, Grasp, and Spoils. Mostly just Crab and Spoils, honestly. And then we're giving up the black cards being Silencer and Vanquish. And we would be giving up Null Priest now, too. Oh, this is tough. There's a lot of things to think about in this draft. Maybe Base Camp lets us splash Spark Mage. I kind of want this Falconer. It's just huge. It's a 4/4 flyer for 5. There's also Into the Royal. I think I do need some top end. I'm going to take the Falconer here, I think. So this is just some top end. The kicker part of it doesn't really matter too much. What's our party look like? So we've got 1 warrior, 1 cleric, 1 anything, 2 wizards, 3 clerics, 3 wizards, 3 wizards, 1 warrior. No rogues, really. Oh, man. This is so hard. So spoils came super late. I think it might be really, really greedy to try to wheel that, but I think I'm going to go for it. I kind of want this Kabira takedown. I also really want Shepherd of Heroes, but I think I want Kabira takedown. I need removal. Oh, man, there's a Deadly Alliance in the pack. This Shatter Skull. Maybe I'm, like, punting this draft with the way that I'm drafting right now. I think I can wheel Cascade Seer here. So I'm just going to take Skyclave Cleric. Oh my god, Journey to Oblivion. There's the Core Celebrant in the pack too. I wonder if that comes around. I think white's like wide open at this table. A Vanquish in the pack still. Sellsword's a warrior. I don't hate that. I already have a Dwarry's Disruption, so I don't care too much about Anti-Cognition. Just take Sellsword here, see what happens. Pack Beast is awesome here. This is a really late Pack Beast for us. These are our rogues because we don't have any. I guess this is the type of deck that does want a Seagate Colossus. I am kind of regretting that Seagate Colossus pass, but whatever. It's fine. Alright, so there's a Kerrigan War Leader. Yeah, white's definitely like wide open at this table. There's a Coveted Prize in the pack. I don't really want Tazim Raptor. I'm just going to take 20 gems. Oh, Zulaport Duelist is decent in this deck. That's our rogue. I think Spoils was in this next. I was going to say, I think Spoils is in the next pack. It's really important that we wheel that because we need the draw 3s here. Wow, Shatterskull Minotaur wheeled. Party's like wide open. Like nobody's drafting white at all. Nobody's drafting the cards that go along with Shatterskull Minotaur. So nobody's drafting Shatterskull Minotaur. Which is crazy, because that card's like almost good enough just by itself. Like it's just a 5-mana haste creature for the most part. It's very... I might play that Smite. It's very rare that you don't have at least one discounter for it. So we got an Anti-Cognition. So let's look. I do think I want to play 16 lands in this deck. It's got quite a bit of drawing power. Because I also have Kabira Takedown, Shajiri Shelter, and Dwarry's Disruption, all his lands. I think I want to cut Glacial Grasp here. Play 16 lands. Sure, let's run this. Alrighty, everybody, here we are with game 1 of this blue-white party deck. Hey, Amazonian, thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. How are you doing? How was the stream? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and keep this. How's it going, guys? Right now, we are drafting blue-white party in Zendikar Rising until we can eventually get out of this and into call time. Can't stick around. Well, I hope your stream went well. Have a good night. But yeah, we're very excited for call time. I'm ready to get out of Zendikar Rising. I think we've drafted this just about enough. Just enough to be done with it. But yeah, thanks for the raid. I really appreciate it. Hope your stream went well. Alrighty, we're going to lead on Sellsword here. Hey, Fresh Prince. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. So we drafted this blue-white party deck. I don't think it's great. I'll pull it up after this since there's so many of you guys coming in that haven't gotten a chance to see it. Light Phantom, I appreciate the follow. But yeah, I will pull the deck up for you guys after this game so that way you can see what we're playing because we don't have a photo of it. I should have screenshotted it. I think it's an okay deck. Mathis, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I think we just make an attack here. If we just make an attack, we can look for... just playing the wizard this next turn. Hey, Naggles, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. All right, so we're ahead of our opponent right now. They're playing Landfall. This GOP is going to be really bad for us racing. Relic Axe is super strong. Oh yeah, you guys can see with cardboard. I forgot. I don't think we can block here. I think we just have to take 9. And then we have practice tactics to kill the Geopede on the next attack. Can we race this? Probably. I think we can win this race. So we play Expedition Healer here. Then when our opponent attacks, we can Duelist, and then we can practice tactics to kill this Geopede. Should put us pretty far ahead. Yeah, thanks for the raid, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Oh boy. All right, so we Duelist now. Then they have to invest their last mana to kill this. All right, so that puts us on 6 next turn. I think that's fine. They're tapped out. We attack for 6. Then we can block. Put them to 5. We play Falconer. Healer blocks. I think we win this game. Depends on if our opponent has a removal spell or not, but this flyer should be enough. How's your guys' day going, chat? Alrighty, so opponent's in the tank right now. I think we probably have this one wrapped up. Going good? That's good to hear. I don't think our opponent needs to have a trample effect. I don't even know if those exist in this format. It's so rare that I see anybody play something that gives an effect like that. So we just block here and then attack. We should have this game. Definitely need to block though, otherwise we just die. Double creatures. That's not good for us. Relic Axe puts... This to be 6. Sellsword forces a block here. Block, pump everything into this. We block here. Take 6. I guess the same thing happens either way if we attack or don't. We just attack for 4. Alright, fingers crossed. Hold the line. See what our opponent top decks here. Make them draw it. Yeah, I think it has to be, but it has to be a removal spell, right? Removal spell for the flyer. I think that's what it requires. Man, I've been live for almost 3 hours already, and if you guys heard about my morning, it was even longer than that. So I just block like this. I woke up this morning and fell back asleep from my alarm. And when I fell back asleep, I started dreaming that I was already streaming. And so my wife came in like an hour later, was like, "Are you gonna stream? Like, you're late." I was like, "What do you mean? I've been streaming." Alright, everybody, here we are with game 2 of this blue-white deck. I think we can keep this. We do have double tap lands here, so this is probably fine. It's weird because we can't play our 1-drop then. Curve's kind of broken. Maybe I just mulligan it? Nah, let's keep it. Let's be greedy. All right, chat. What are you guys most excited for out of Call Time so far? I know that a lot of spoilers are coming out now, so everybody's starting to get hyped up for the set. We'll just play Cleric around too. Drawing Island's great there. Now any draw that we have, we can actually play, besides Falconer. You haven't even checked the spoilers yet? Gotcha. There's a lot of stuff coming out that people... I've had so many people asking me, like, what I think of the set. And I'm like, it seems cool. I mean, everything that they've spoiled so far seems really cool. I like some of the mechanics that they're introducing, just because I think they're interesting overall. You know, they're doing a lot of original stuff. That's what I like about it. Just saw Helvar. Yeah. I like the way that they did the gods this time around, where they, like, flip into some form of, like, artifact, as opposed to just being, like, indestructible enchantments like the Theros gods are. I think I'm just gonna block Brushfire here. Alright, I'm not gonna block Brushfire. The question is, do I want to block Blightblade? Because I'm playing Banneret plus Celebrant next turn. I think I do want to block Blightblade then. Just prevent as much damage as possible. I have a lot of late game sinks in this deck. We've had double Spoils of Adventure, so we can just play into the late game. Opponent seems to be pretty aggressive. This will probably be maybe a double block on Arden, actually. I might be okay with trading Banneret for it, even though we have activation next turn. Because I think I still want to develop Angel Heart. I need something to stop this Brushfire. Oh, playing the Mammoth tapped? Okay. Yeah, I like the way that they did the Amonkhet gods, where they were like always creatures and they had a stipulation on what they could do, but they were indestructible, so they couldn't die to typical removal. But the Theros gods are a little weird because they don't stay as creatures, so like you can only remove them with enchantment removal that's exiling, and a lot of that is like pretty situational. And then they've always done this thing where like gods are basically unkillable, so you have like the indestructible enchantments. You have the, man, what's it called? I can't think of the word right now. You have the indestructible enchantments, you have the indestructible gods, and then you have like the Locust God, Scarab God, and Scorpion God, the ones that like always return. And then you have like the God Eternals that also always return. So this is the first cycle of gods that we've ever seen that like, they actually can just die. So they're not just like super frustrating to play against. And I think that's something that's really big. And I like that. I think it feels very original. I think I can take another hit here. I might actually be hitting off the Cliffhaven Kite Sail. Hey, Pabs, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I don't think I care about anything here. Also, I just think the lore of Call Time in general is just interesting. It's gonna go to like a brand new plane that's different. It's better, in my opinion, it's better than going back to like Zendikar for the 3rd time, Ravnica for the 4th time, Innistrad for the 3rd time. That stuff just gets kind of tedious over time. I think I'm okay with our opponent investing the mana here this turn. Close. I don't know if I really want to do that. Let's make this block. Eldraine, I agree. I thought Eldraine was awesome. That's true. It is a little bit of a flavor fail for gods to be able to die so easily, but one thing that it comes into play is like, I think in Norse mythology, the gods aren't supposed to be like these huge things that can just like never die. They're just like warriors that participate, right? Because that's kind of like the Norse theme, is that like everyone dies eventually. Yeah, Eldraine definitely had some of the most overpowered cards, like, ever. But yeah, the lore of it is fantastic. I loved the initial, like, building of showcases, too. The fact that they looked, like, so unique. We'll just make a block here. Because they had the storybook, like, starting showcases, and they started, like, the collector's packs and stuff, too, with the borderless. Yeah, Oko. Yeah. Oko, Cat, Oven... Mostly just the food mechanic in general. Has probably like some of the most banned cards of like all time out of a set. All right, we need to find a way out of this. So our opponent's out of lands. Our opponent's out of cards, so that means they're out of lands right now. So Brushfire and Hellhound don't really matter too much. So I think what I'm supposed to do is actually Oblivion the Sail, like the kite sail, and then Kabira Takedown the Bug Catcher, and then just plan to block here. Dominaria has more sets than any other plane. Yeah, but they've had like, because that was like Mirrodin and stuff too, right? So they had like some weird sets that don't really feel like they're necessarily Dominaria. But yeah, the Dominaria plane has definitely seen like a lot of love over time. How do we win here? I think we're just like super dead. That Roiling Regrowth was a sick top deck. That's right. Ooh, Island, that's gonna save us. That's, yeah, we're dead. They pick up land and then they just play it. Pack it in. Yeah, Origins may have been the last one. Alright, so we can't play Rune Crab in this hand, but I think we can just keep this. Play Rune Crab off Pack Beast. We can play it on 3, I guess, if we really want to. But that's obviously, you know, where all the hype's gone now. You know, I think everybody's kind of talking about Kaldheim. We've seen enough Zendikar. I've seen Landfall in enough sets that I would be happy if they just didn't print it anymore, because it's probably, in my opinion, I think it's up there on the Storm scale, kind of. It's pretty good. I'm gonna go blue. I'm gonna play this crab. The 0/3 just blocks really well on this board. Yeah, the individual elves where they, you know, they print a couple, but they don't ever print anything that's like super deep into just playing a ton of elves, right? But now we have like true tribal decks, and that's, for people who are commander players too, I think that's interesting, because they just printed like Llanowar Abomination and all that other stuff too. I think I'm gonna play Kabira Takedown tap this turn, so that way I can play land next turn and spoils. Let's see here. Then I could be considering like Protector takes us to 3. Yeah, let's play Takedown tap here. I think this is gonna go down to a card advantage game. Yeah, draft does get kind of expensive. It helps, like, so it helps a lot that it's something that I've been doing for like a really long time. So it's something I'm just, I guess, used to. Like, the cost doesn't matter to me as much because I'm so used to paying for it. Tired of usual standard. Yeah, in my opinion, I don't really like historic that much. So for me, it's pretty much all standard and draft. If I wanted to play like historic, so I actually own a game store. So like when we were hosting modern events and stuff, I would just play modern there if I wanted to. And I've been playing for so long that like historic just doesn't interest me. I'm kind of in a unique situation that makes it feel a little weird. All right. So this Seagate Colossus is going to be a huge problem. I'm not sure how we're going to go about killing it. I think we're just taking 7 this turn. Sure, Felidor's fine. So we can play Falconer next turn, or we can Spoils. It's got to be one or the other. I guess Practice Tactics does it, right? Journey to Oblivion does it. So next turn we get to draw 3. For 3. Alright, we'll just take 8. That's fine. I guess we'll draw first. Nice. So that was what we were playing for, was Journey to Oblivion. We just get to journey the Seagate Colossus now. And this should put us pretty far ahead. And we have a second journey already to take care of the Felidar once it gets to the point where it's threatening. And then I think we're just going to end up milling our opponent out. Looks more and more like a standard deck every day. I guess my 4/4 kind of just takes care of that. Play this. I'm actually just going to cast... Actually, I kind of want that just as the land. I think the only way we lose is by Felidar getting out of hand, but I don't even think that happens. I'm actually just going to hold this for turn. No, I'm going to cast it. Never mind. I'm going to take care of the Felidar. I don't want to start losing my board. Hey, thanks for the follow, DLA. Oh, wait. I should have hit this because he has the knife. That was a misplay. Teabag, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Just over here misplaying. Alright, so landfall trigger. Mill for 3. I think we can still get out of this. We just play Core Celebrant now. I don't think we're ever winning this race, but we can make it so that way we don't lose the race before taking damage. Again, we're going to hold on to the Cleric for now because we don't need the life. And like, the life is not essential, and we want to make sure we can hit our land next turn. Also, for any of you who are stopping by from the raid, who are still around, just so you guys know, I do stream 4 days a week. So I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, starting at 9:30 Central Time, and going until roughly around like 12 to 1. Thursdays we stream later. Alright, I think we're okay. We just need one land. And we have a blocker. This is going to be tight. Man, I really messed up by not hitting that Shepherd. That could cost me the game. I can make blocks that allow for me to win here, though. And I still have 10 lands in the deck. So half my deck is lands. Is there anything that pumps for 4? No. Alright, so we can just make a block. Or we don't have to make a block. I can't remember if I have a kicker spell or not. Zulaport Duelist also does it. Ooh. Got him. We're kind of in a situation where lands and spells are both good, so it's not that unheard of that we were able to get there. But definitely should have cast Journey. Spoils. Definitely should have cast Journey on the Shepherd. I forgot about the Utility Knife. It's not exactly a card we see very often, so I was kind of just like, what is that thing over there? Also, it looks like I should be able to make it to Mythic before the end of this season. I think we can keep this. This is kind of greedy to keep. But we do have Dwarry's Disruption. Yeah, I can keep this. So I can play my Rune Crab, mill him. Like, mill our opponent here. And then have Dwarry's Disruption to tag whatever 2-drop they play. That should buy me quite a bit of time. So in case I do miss planes, I have a couple more turns. Okay. Wind Robber's a little weird. Because I didn't anticipate for 1-drops that are flying. I don't think there's very many of them. Hey, Maya Plays, thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. How was your stream? Alright, mill our opponent. We might just be on the power mill strat till we get a plains here. Maybe load up the crab at some point. It's taking one. Opponent's milling us out. Do I care about this? Probably. I think Dwarry's Disruption kind of just has to tag the first thing it gets a chance to hit. I'm gonna play this a little weird, where I play double Celebrant just to gain life, because I think our opponent's gonna try to have to kill us. We should be able to win through mill. You decided which deck to play on Saturday? What'd you play? In what format? Mill Unlimited? Yeah. The classic. That's kind of scary. Eventually, that's going to be a problem. Crab is really good in Limited. Gruul in Historic. Oh, cool. Yeah. I just missed a point. Jeez. I haven't really played much Historic. I was kind of mentioning that earlier. I played a lot of Modern when I was like starting playing the game, so it's never been something that like super interested me to play like Historic. Should be able to play this, then Journey is 3. So let's play Farsight. Yeah, it seems like it could be a cool format, but I already play enough Modern, so I'm just like, I don't know if I really want to go down that road. So our opponent mills us, so they can't hit us next turn. So I'll just play Sellsword this turn then. And I can attack for 4. I don't think these life points actually matter. This attack might be kind of dumb, actually. I guess if our opponent plays Zulaport Duelist here, they can attack. Yeah, this crab's carrying this game. Well, I mean, Core Celebrants will carry, too. They're going to gain us a lot of life. Make it hard for our opponent to kill us. Our opponent's milling us for 2 a turn with Relic Golem, and we're just like, land. Just AFK playing lands. Alright, so I think we have to hit Relic Golem here now. I think we're going to start attacking as well. Anti-Cognition is available now, but it doesn't hit Journey. I was kind of testing with Seagate Banneret to see if our opponent had a response. Shell Shield's an option here. Doing nothing is also an option, obviously. Oh, baby. Seagate Banneret's going to pump this crab next turn. I'm wondering what our opponent has, because this forest is kind of weird. They haven't played any green cards. It looks like they're a kicker deck, but... Oh, there's like a Soaring Thought Thief in here. Okay, I see. So they're actually multiple colors. Oh, okay, that's really good. I don't think we're attacking with the crab anymore. We're retreating, chat. I think we're going back to the mill strat. Got kind of owned by End of the Royal there. I can just take 6, though. Obviously, you can only take so many 6s, but this first one shouldn't matter too much. We'll drop down to 17 this turn. Mill for 1. Opponent sacks Windrobber to draw a card, maybe. Oh, our opponent's on the defensive. That's actually super good for us. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. That's the nice thing about, like, for instance, the way that I focus my YouTube content and talk about, like, what I do for like limited in general when I'm playing is I like to talk through a lot of the plays that I'm going through because I think it helps people improve when they're looking. It's nice to be there for the draft portion because I kind of talk about what cards I think are good and why. And so that can kind of help you like practice up. Also, Draftism is a website that does just simulated drafts. They can be really, really helpful. Maya Plays, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, Draftism, like even sim drafts can be pretty helpful just in general. And all that stuff costs nothing, right? So for YouTube, it's like you're just watching somebody play and you're already looking to consume that content anyways, and you kind of just learn as you go. Whereas Draftism, like you're actively playing with it in your hands as well. So that's something that can also help you a lot. I have a couple friends that always do like Draftism sim drafts when a new set's coming out. So for instance, like they're already doing it on Kaldheim. And from there, I mean, they kind of get an edge. Obviously, there's also other resources out there. You know, there's articles and there's, you know, for instance, I think LSV does limited resources still. That was something that I used a lot when I first was like kind of starting to get seriously into draft. But the best way to learn is to play. Unfortunately, like I said, it's expensive. All right, we're gonna hit this Relic Golem again. Yeah, the Relic Golem can attack, but I don't think our opponent can afford to. They might just die. Hey, Rummy, how's it going? Oh yeah, Lords of Limited. I forgot about that. That's like new. I don't watch a whole lot of podcasts just because, or listen to a lot of podcasts just because when I'm at work, I'm already dealing with like customers all day. So I don't really have a lot of downtime to listen to stuff. I kind of mentioned that like earlier, I own a game store, so we have people coming in and out all the time. But I have people asking me about spoilers all the time and like new sets, and I help new players all the time as well by teaching them. So a lot of times in store when we're drafting, obviously right now it's a little different, but when we're drafting in store, I will like sit down next to like a new player and be like, what are you thinking about taking out of this pack? And everybody at the store is super cool with it. I'll sit down with them and be like, what are you thinking about taking out of this pack? And, you know, they'll be like, oh, I'm thinking about taking this card or this card. And I make them make a decision first, and then I ask them why. Because I want a justification. Even if it's correct, even if their pick, in my opinion, is the correct pick, that doesn't change the fact that I want to know their justification as to why. Because when they're talking about what they want and why, I want to make sure their mentality is in the right place. Not that they're just picking the right card or following the colors and reading signals. It's where is your head at when you're making a draft? Because every pick you make in a draft will affect you at some point, right? Besides maybe like 14th and 15th pick where it's just like, this is random garbage, just put it in the pile. Correct, you can make the right decisions for the wrong reasons. And results-based is usually detrimental for people when they're learning. So, like saying, oh, well, I won, so I must have done it right, is not necessarily correct. That's another thing that I think a lot of people run into. So it's nice to sit down with somebody and help walk them through, you know, where they're at in the game and stuff. We can keep this hand. We should be able to curve into spoils. But yeah, learning draft is definitely, it's different than learning constructed because you don't have as many times to fail, I guess, without it getting like essentially, yeah, really expensive. This card's gonna be kind of weird for us. Also, our opponent is on the Forest Mountain Island. I definitely advocate for playing two colors in this format for sure. Obviously, it's working for our opponent here, but again, sometimes doing the wrong thing, but still like being rewarded for it. I think it's really tough because there's not a lot of mana fixing in this format, so you kind of fall behind a lot because you just end up getting like bad mana. Yeah, I think getting mana, you're gonna end up losing more games to mana screw than you are to winning because of power level. But there's also something to be said, like, if this draft just didn't go well, for instance, we'd have to look at the whole core foundation of the draft. But if the draft didn't go well, then maybe you just need that kind of power level that you just don't currently have. And our opponent playing things like Basswood Surge does make getting mana screwed significantly less frequent. Alright, so we get to play Pack Beast here, and then play Spoils. This seems pretty good. And then, I actually think I'm just going to play Jwari's Disruption tapped, because that card's never getting anywhere. And then I think I'm going to Journey to Oblivion the Relic Amulet before it gets too out of control. He's going to kill my Pack Beast here. But that was a huge tempo swing for us. We got to develop a creature and also draw 3, gain 3. Is it gain 2 or 3 off spoils? 3, I think. Yeah, 3. Alright, so now we play Crab. Mill our opponent. I'm going to cast Journey here, and I'm going to hit that Relic Amulet. I don't want that to get too far out of hand. And we still have a Practice Tactics as well. So when Diviner tries to get in, eventually we can Practice Tactics. But for now, we're not really in a spot where we have to worry. So we're missing the Rogue from our party. Mill the Phylath. Oh, I wonder if our opponent's splashing Phylath. This might be a kicker deck that's just splashing a red card. Alright, what's in here? Basswood Surge? Oh, that's a lot of counters. Three. I think I don't want to play Spoils this turn. I want to develop Seagate Colossus and have Practice Tactics because they're gonna go for a Basswood Surge here. That distributes the counters. And so we need to have Practice Tactics up in order to prevent the 5 in the air. And we can always cast Spoils on end step if nothing changes. Alright, Skyclave Kicked is fine. I think we can just take 3 then. And then Spoils. This gives us a good window to Spoils here. We may just be able to outpace our opponent by life gain alone. Gnarlid Colony is going to give everything trample with this Vastwood Surge, though. This Vastwood Surge is going to be huge. I'm actually pretty scared of that. Oh, Royal Eruption, too. Splashing a little bit of removal as well. Seems fine. So we're going to block Seagate Colossus on Gnarlid Colony. Actually, we could block Lull Mage's Familiar with Seagate Colossus. And then Colossus actually lives. We can Practice Tactics this Expedition Diviner, but we don't have enough to kill this. This is going to be a problem. We're going to have to try to stay alive long enough for our opponent to mill out. I think we can do that. We have 6 cards worth of mill right now. They're going down to 10, and then they'll go down to 9, and then 6. And then 3, 2. All right, so we have, as long as we don't die in the next 3 turns, we have lethal. Wow, Inscription of Insight. Bouncing 2 cards could have been pretty brutal for us. All right, we also need our opponent to not have a removal spell for Rune Crab. This crab is an absolute unit this draft. During the draft, I actually talked about picking Crab and how I thought it was really good, but I passed like a Premier Party card for it. Yeah, I guess we're just taking 6. Don't really have any good options there. Everything does have trample, so we have to be careful how we... Oh, that's bad. Now we need to hit a removal spell, and I think we have very few that kill this. That's really bad. All right, so opponent attacks for, let's hear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 creatures. They're pretty safe to just attack with everything, honestly. I don't think we can make profitable blocks that are profitable enough that we don't just, like, start to die. But yeah, I think our opponent should just be swinging with everything here. Even if we eat, like, Familiar with Colossus. So we eat Familiar with Colossus, and then we double block on Gnarlid Colony. Then we block Sellsword on Royal Mage. And then we block Visionary with both Core Celebrants. We're still taking 6, 10, 12. So we'd go to 4. So I don't even think we can make blocks like that. If we were to make blocks, we'd probably have to block more damage than that. No, we go to 3. A second Inscription of Insight? Oh my god. Our opponent's nuts. Yeah, this is definitely a swing with everything situation, by the way. That shouldn't even be a consideration at this point. Now he's giving up Trample. So our opponent's giving up Trample for the creatures from now on. Oh, okay. Alright, well. Our opponent is at 3 cards. I don't know if I have a way to punish that. I just have a Zulaport Duelist. I think we're just dead, right? I guess we'll see if the opponent makes the attack. I've seen weirder things today. Yeah, I don't think we would have anything to punish. Even in that situation, they would go to exactly 1 card in library if I drew Duelist. Smite maybe could have punished. This is when they get back, like, Inscription, yeah. Then, like, go for a bounce and target me with the draw. I mean, maybe our opponent doesn't go for it. I don't know why they're playing all this out when they could just swing with everything, but you never know. This is when they just hit spacebar twice. Swing everything in anyways. Chat. Help. Zulaport Duelist is lethal if they make this attack. Alright, never mind. Everything's coming in. Chat, I think we're dead. That was wishful thinking to hope they didn't attack with everything. Alright, so we block Colony like this. Mammoth. And then I can soak 4, and that leaves me taking 3, 6, 8. Alright, yeah, we'll die. Opponent was in the tank on that attack. I think we can keep this. This deck is like super slow, so having a slow hand is like okay, as long as it's powerful. Core Celebrant really, oh wow. Had to have been the best draw in the deck. Alright, no Royal Eruption one time. Alright, unlucky. That's fine. I jinxed it. Oh man. This is the stuff right here. Royal Eruption into Relic Robber. Also, like, another 3-color deck with kind of like the random swamp thing. Subtle Strike could have gotten us there, but I don't think I can afford to just take too many hits from Relic Robber. If I make too many of these constructs, I'm just going to die. I think I'm just playing this. Alright, Journey's good. So we just block Farsight Adept on Scorch Rider, right? And then we can cast Seagate Colossus next turn. No, we can't. We can cast Falconer next turn. Oh, that's bad. Alright, so we're just taking 4. Still casting Falconer next turn. I don't think we have a better play than to cast Falconer. The problem is I don't think we can block Scorch Rider with Falconer. Seems pretty loose. When we have something like Sajiri's Shelter, for instance. So I think we have to take this damage and actually give ourselves the best chance of winning the game. Which I think the best chance of us winning the game is Falconer attacking. Should always play to not... Or you should always play to win, not to not lose. Like, playing to not lose, most of the time will lose you games. So always play to win. So know what your win condition is ahead of time. Try to play to get that way. Opponent is cantripping out a mountain for an island. Okay, so if I hit... I think I'm just slamming Colossus here. Alright, so let's jam Colossus here. This makes this cost 3 and this cost 2, and that's how we're going to win the game, by casting these 2 cards next turn. If we lose to a removal spell here, I think that's okay. But I think that's our best chances of winning. Even if we take 2 from Fissure Wizard, we're in okay shape. And we go Colossus on Scorch Rider and Celebrant on Relic Robber. The game might even be short enough that we could block Fissure Wizard with Celebrant, and then... I guess it doesn't matter, because if they have Subtle Strike, then it doesn't matter. Inordinate Rage would tag Seagate Colossus. Otherwise, it's just like into the Royal. Glacial Grasp. Okay. Yeah, sure. Diviner's fine. I mean, we're in a winning race position now. Let's cast Spoils first. Wow, second Spoils. Cast Journey, take this away. Cast Journey. Take this away. Swing for 11. I think our opponent's definitely incentivized to make blocks here. Double Journey to Oblivion was crazy right there. But yeah, Seagate Colossus playing that turn is the way that we enabled our ability to get ahead this game. Core Celebrant has done a good job of neutralizing the Relic Robber and this token. It's gained us a decent amount of life. So even through removal spell, I think we still are okay. So it'd have to be removal plus pump. Okay. We already have a warrior, so Spoils doesn't get any cheaper. So this is attack with both again. Scared myself when I attack with these constructs, but it doesn't really matter. I don't want my opponent to gain life, so I want to make sure that I'm playing in that manner to get rid of the Celebrant. And then I play Healer and Sellsword together. And we should be in a winning position from here. And I just go Prot Red on Seagate Colossus if we're attacking next turn. Yeah, Prot Red should be lethal. Alright, let's not misclick here. Nice. I'm glad we were able to get out of that one. That was a tight game. Spoils of Adventure and Journey to Oblivion when you're playing party are just insane cards. When you're casting them for like 2 and 3. Homelander, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Alrighty. I definitely think we're going to keep this. This hand's fine. It curves pretty well into spoils. So that's kind of what you have to worry about, is how spoils actually fits into your curve. Oh, fledgling. Okay, that's probably going to be quite a bit of damage. We want to make sure we're attacking through that. Opponents on blue-white playing fledgling, which is kind of interesting because it doesn't actually trigger anything in the party. That's its normal mechanic, but I mean, fledgling also just like busts your opponent up pretty good. I don't think I can trade with Pack Beast. I'm pretty sure I have to just leave it because I have spoils next turn. And if I don't cast spoils, I have no 4-drop. And we just journey the fledgling because now we're safe. We just take 2 here. And then once we cast spoils, then we can start trading. We've already gained 3 and drawn 3 at that point. Oh, double Pack Beast. So we just go block spoils. Oh man, Allied Assault is such a blowout here. Counterspell I'm okay with. If that gets countered, it's fine. Allied Assault would be terrible for us. Sure. So now we play Crab, Land, Pack Beast, and then we go Kabira Takedown on the Tactician. Dropping Dwarry's Disruption for a turn, but that's okay. We were able to redevelop our board pretty quick. Opponent playing Glacial Grasp is fantastic for us. That's so slow. Oh, yeah, our opponent just conceded. I think they're just missing way too many lands. That seemed like an early concession. That's the tilt factor. Speaking of which, so something to avoid when you're playing card games in general is make sure you keep a level head. If you can't keep a level head, then you're not going to perform well. So make sure that you avoid tilt. If you get mana screwed, that's fine. You can't control it except for maybe mulliganing. If you get mana flooded, that's fine. It happens. The best thing you want to do is control the variance that you can, which is controlling your play and making sure that you're playing the right cards in order to keep resources proper. So don't worry about the things you can't control. Only worry about the things you can control. Because when you can control them, that's how you make sure that you have a 62% win rate in Magic. And a 62% win rate is a professional player. Like, don't ever get worried when you lose games. It happens. But make sure you learn from your mistakes. We can keep this. This hand's real slow, though. Not tilting is hard for you. I think a lot of people really struggle with not tilting. And that's why I bring it up, because it's something that is actually very serious inside of like the game that it'll just lose you games. So like just keep a level head. It's fine. Everybody loses from time to time. I lose games. You know, Amazonian loses games. LSV loses games. The best player in the world loses games. You know, Paulo loses games, and he's what, the world champion right now? Especially against rogues, you tilt. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just don't like seeing, you know, turn 1 Rune Crab. Sometimes you feel kind of helpless against that deck, and I understand that. Plus, it's like, if you see it all the time, it gets annoying. But the important part is like, if you just take time out to make sure that you're not tilting against something like that, you're more likely to win more games against that deck. All right. I really don't want to cast Journey to Oblivion here, but I think I don't really want to. I think I'm just going to chill. I want to see what my opponent does. If my opponent plays something here, I want to smite it. This is going to be a 5-drop. Sure, I'll just take 2. I think I can handle taking 2 for a couple turns. Yeah, the like about to concede but then end up winning the game because you like top deck right. Yeah, it does happen, and that's why I say like just play to your outs. Like if you play to your outs, you're more likely to win more games, and the more games you win, the better you perform. I know it's obvious to say that, to be like, well, obviously the more you win, the better you do, but it's something that I think a lot of people actually do struggle with. I'm questioning whether I want to develop this 3-1 or if I just want to play Kabira takedown here on the 2-2. I think I just want to take down the 2-2. The 2-2. I almost just clicked 3-2. I just saw higher power and was like, click it. Resist the urge to misclick. Alright, opponent could have Subtle Strike. I'm just going to block like this. It's fine. Actually, what if I just block like this? That's Oblivion Hunger. I'll just block like this. I don't want to get blown out by Oblivion Hunger. Subtle Strike's fine. That one's going to get us no matter what. Alright, so... Crab. Land. Sellsword. Actually, I can smite this. I think they have Oblivion Hunger, though. So I'm actually going to cast Journey. I think they have Oblivion Hunger. It just felt like an Oblivion Hunger for some reason. Attack for 3. That one's pretty free. Alright. That sucks because we can't answer that. Smite doesn't hit it. That's kind of the problem with playing around Oblivion Hunger, is that now we're just in a situation where we didn't play around the other thing, which is something that's flying and smaller. I guess the way to remedy this is attacking with a 7-power creature. Because we're on the life total plan here. Oh, Vanquish Rune Crab. Now we're definitely on the life total plan. I actually think Vanquishing Rune Crab's probably wrong there. Probably supposed to just take Core Celebrant. Unless they have a way to really lock up the board here. It's kind of annoying, but I don't know if it really locks up the board. I'm going to make these attacks. I'm fine with Dauntless Survivor eating this 3-1. I need to just get it out of the way. Like, the Visionary is never going to do anything sitting around, and Dauntless Survivor is only ever going to chump block. I think we have a chance of winning this race, though. Even with our opponent getting 3 a turn. Oh, okay, that's fine. Oh, Spoils milled off the top. That sucks. Alright, 3-3. So... we don't really have good attacks now. Colossus just trades with both of those. We're in trouble now. We need practice tactics or another journey. That's not impossible, I guess. No, that's 2 outs. We played to the 2 outs here. Spoils also helps a lot. Any creature really slows down the clock. Does our opponent have anything crazy in graveyard if they play like Thwart the Grave? Not really. Farsight's pretty good here too. Gains us 2 and then also gives us a redraw. Also just puts a body out in play. Land is not it. We do need to play our lands, though, so that way we have access to, like, if we do draw spoils, we have access to playing, like, all the spells at once. All more power in the air. Uh-oh. The more and more damage that comes in the air, the more likely we are to lose this game. I guess this gains 4. It's kind of fine. I mean, at this point, I'm just sending this, right? I guess I double trade. If our opponent has Oblivion Hunger here, it's fine. We don't have a way to beat that. And then that clears off the board for us. Alright. 1/1 chump blocker. Our best way is to start racing here. And we just have to find a way to kill that stupid bat. So we just attack for 5 here. I think it's going to have to be spoils into Journey next turn in order for us to stay alive. Spoils, draw 3, Journey, hit Gloom Hunter. We are at 5. We take 2 from Sky Dancer. And then we can start running off creatures. That's probably our best option. Wow, that is a lot. Alright, so we're dead. Let's see if our opponent can figure out how to make the attack. We did get an extra turn against one opponent already. We're dead. Alright, chat. I am off to start cooking my homemade ramen. So I am going to be done here. Like I said, we stream 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's our streaming time starts at 9:30 Central Time. Hey YouTube, me again. I just wanted to say, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And if you guys would like to see more videos that are more ripped straight from the live stream where I'm interacting with chat and everything, please feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section below, so that way I know what you'll want to see.